In the vibrant city of Lagos, Nigeria, two young lovers, Amina and Tunde, found each other amidst the hustle and bustle. Amina, a talented artist with dreams of showcasing her work to the world, and Tunde, a passionate musician with a heart full of melodies, were drawn together by their shared love for creativity and life. Their love blossomed quickly, and they became inseparable. They spent their days exploring the city's hidden gems, creating art and music together, and dreaming of a future where their talents would shine. Their bond was strong, and they believed nothing could tear them apart. One evening, as they strolled along the beach, Tunde surprised Amina with a heartfelt song he had written just for her. The lyrics spoke of eternal love and the promise of a future together. Amina's eyes filled with tears of joy as she listened to Tunde's beautiful voice, and she knew in her heart that they were meant to be. However, their happiness was soon overshadowed by a dark cloud. Amina began receiving mysterious messages from an unknown number, warning her to stay away from Tunde. At first, she dismissed them as a cruel joke, but the messages became more frequent and threatening. Amina confided in Tunde, who assured her that they would face this challenge together. Determined to uncover the truth, Amina and Tunde embarked on a quest to find the person behind the messages. They discovered that Tunde's ex-girlfriend, Ife, was behind the threats. Ife had never truly moved on from Tunde and was consumed by jealousy and anger. She believed that if she couldn't have Tunde, no one else should. One fateful night, Ife confronted Amina and Tunde at a local art gallery where Amina was showcasing her latest work. The confrontation quickly escalated, and in a fit of rage, Ife revealed a shocking secret: Tunde had been hiding a dark past. He had been involved in a tragic accident years ago that resulted in the death of Ife's brother. Ife blamed Tunde for her brother's death and had been seeking revenge ever since. Amina was devastated by the revelation. She felt betrayed and confused, unsure of how to reconcile the Tunde she loved with the person responsible for such a tragedy. Tunde, overwhelmed with guilt and sorrow, tried to explain that the accident had haunted him every day and that he had never meant to hurt anyone. Amina's heart shattered like 1,000 pieces when she discovered Tunde's betrayal. The man she had loved, trusted, and built a future with, had shattered her world with his infidelity. The pain was a constant ache, a dull throb that never seemed to subside. In the aftermath of the revelation, Amina found herself withdrawing from Tunde. The once vibrant and loving relationship had turned into a cold and distant exchange. She avoided his calls, his texts, and his attempts to reconcile. The thought of being near him, of hearing his voice, filled her with a mix of anger and sadness. Amina sought solace in solitude, finding comfort in the quiet moments alone. She poured her heart into her work, losing herself in long hours at the office. She turned to her friends for support, seeking comfort in their understanding and empathy. Gradually, she began to rebuild her shattered self, piece by piece. The process was painful, a slow and arduous journey. There were days when the pain overwhelmed her, when the memories of their love threatened to consume her. But she persevered, determined to emerge from the darkness stronger and more resilient. As time passed, the intensity of her pain began to subside. The sharp edges of her heartbreak softened, replaced by a sense of acceptance. She realized that she had to let go of the past, of the dreams they had shared, in order to move forward. Amina's journey was not easy, but it was necessary. It was a journey of self-discovery, a journey of healing, and a journey towards a future filled with hope and promise. Despite Tunde's pleas, Amina couldn't shake the pain and betrayal she felt. She needed time to process everything and decided to distance herself from Tunde. Heartbroken, Tunde respected her decision, knowing that he had to face the consequences of his past actions. Tunde, his heart heavy with regret and longing, found solace in the realm of music. The piano, once a source of joy and shared moments with Amina, now became his confidant, his therapist. As his fingers danced across the keys, pouring out his emotions, a symphony of sorrow and hope emerged. Each note he played was a confession, a plea for forgiveness, and a desperate attempt to reach Amina. The music, raw and unfiltered, reflected the turmoil within him. He poured his heart into every chord, every melody, hoping that his music would somehow bridge the distance between them. Tonde's music became his lifeline, his escape from the pain of their separation. It was through his music that he could express the depth of his feelings, the intensity of his love, and the bitterness of his loss. He poured his soul into every composition, hoping that Amina would hear his unspoken words, feel his unspoken emotions. As he played, he imagined Amina listening, her heart softening, her anger fading. He yearned for the day when their music would once again bring them together, when their love would find its way back to them. Until then, he would continue to pour his heart into his music, hoping that it would be enough to mend the broken pieces of their love. Days turned into weeks, and Amina struggled to find solace in her art. She missed Tonde terribly but couldn't bring herself to forgive him. Meanwhile, Tonde poured his heart into his music, hoping that one day Amina would find it in her heart to forgive him. One rainy evening, Amina received a call from Tonde's best friend, informing her that Tonde had been in a terrible accident. Rushing to the hospital, Amina's heart pounded with fear and regret. She arrived just in time to see Tonde, who was gravely injured but conscious. The phone rang, its shrill tone cutting through the quietude of Amina's apartment. She hesitated, a sense of dread washing over her. The caller ID displayed an unfamiliar number, but a cold shiver ran down her spine. "Hello," she answered, her voice barely a whisper. "Amina, it's about Tonde," the voice on the other end stammered, filled with sorrow. A wave of panic surged through her. "What happened? Is he okay?" she asked, her heart pounding in her chest. "There's been an accident," the voice continued, hesitant. "He is in the hospital." Amina's world froze. Her mind raced, trying to comprehend the words she had just heard. Tonde, the man who had broken her heart, the man she had tried to forget, was now in danger. A strange mix of emotions flooded her: shock, fear, and a flicker of concern. She rushed to grab her keys, her mind a whirlwind of thoughts. The hospital, the emergency room, Tonde. She couldn't think straight. As she rushed out the door, she prayed silently, hoping that he would be okay. The fate of their unfinished story hung in the balance. With tears streaming down her face, Amina held Tonde's hand and whispered, "I'm so sorry. I never stopped loving you." Tonde, with a weak smile, replied, "I love you too, Amina. Always." In that moment, Amina realized that life was too short to hold on to pain and anger. She forgave Tonde, and they shared a tender moment, knowing that their love had endured despite the challenges. The hospital room was filled with the hum of machines and the soft glow of fluorescent lights. Tonde lay in the bed, his face pale and his breathing shallow. Amina sat by his side, her hand gently holding his. "Amina," he whispered, his voice barely audible. She leaned in, her heart aching. "I'm here, Tonde," she replied, her voice trembling. "I'm so sorry," he managed to say, his eyes filled with regret. "I never meant to hurt you." Amina squeezed his hand. "I know, Tonde. It's okay." He closed his eyes, a single tear rolling down his cheek. "I love you," he whispered, his voice fading. Amina's heart shattered. She leaned in, pressing her lips to his forehead. "I love you too," she said, her voice barely a whisper. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. The world outside the hospital room faded away, leaving only the two of them. As Tonde's breathing grew shallower, Amina held his hand tighter, praying for a miracle. But the miracle never came. Tonde's grip loosened, and his breathing stopped. Amina's heart sank as she realized that he was gone. The love they had shared, the pain they had endured, had all come to an end. In the quiet aftermath, Amina sat by his side, her heart heavy with grief. She knew that their story had reached its tragic conclusion, but the love they had shared would forever remain etched in her heart. But fate had one final twist in store. Tunde's injuries were too severe, and he passed away that night, leaving Amina heartbroken and shattered. She mourned the loss of her true love, but she also found strength in the memories they had shared. Amina channeled her grief into her art, creating powerful pieces that told the story of their love and loss. Her work touched the hearts of many, and she became a renowned artist, known for her emotional and evocative creations. In the aftermath of Tunde's passing, Amina found herself lost in a sea of grief. The world seemed to have lost its color, and the future stretched before her, bleak and uncertain. But amidst the darkness, a flicker of light began to emerge. Amina turned to her art, her canvas becoming a vessel for her emotions. She poured her grief, her longing, and her love for Tunde into every stroke of her brush. The colors on the canvas mirrored her inner turmoil, dark and somber, yet tinged with hope. Her paintings became a cathartic release, a way to process her pain and find solace in the act of creation. Each brushstroke was a tribute to Tunde, a reminder of the love they had shared. As she delved deeper into her art, Amina discovered a newfound strength. Her grief, once a heavy burden, now fueled her creativity. She found solace in the act of creating, a way to honor Tunde's memory and keep his spirit alive. Her paintings began to attract attention, their raw emotion resonating with viewers. Amina's art became a testament to her resilience, a reflection of her journey through grief and her emergence as a stronger, more compassionate person. Though their love story ended in pain, Amina carried Tunde's memory with her, finding solace in the knowledge that their love had been real and true. And so, the tale of Amina and Tunde became a poignant reminder that love, even when it ends in heartbreak, leaves an indelible mark on our souls. The art exhibition was a resounding success. Critics praised Amina's raw emotion and artistic prowess. The gallery was packed with admirers, each drawn to the unique story her paintings told. As the exhibition concluded, Amina felt a sense of closure. Her grief had been transformed into art, a tangible expression of her pain and her healing. She had found solace in the memories of Tunde, cherishing the moments they had shared. In the quiet moments, she would often find herself lost in thought, replaying their shared moments. His laughter, his gentle touch, his unwavering love, these memories brought her comfort. She realized that while Tunde was no longer physically present, his love lived on within her. Amina's journey had been one of immense pain and profound transformation. She had emerged from the darkness, stronger and more resilient. Her art had become a powerful tool, not just for self-expression, but also for healing and connection. As she looked towards the future, she carried Tunde's memory with her, a constant reminder of the love they had shared. She knew that their love story, though tragic, had left an indelible mark on her soul. And as she continued to create, she would honor his memory, ensuring that their love story would live on, forever etched in the canvas of her life.